What up, people? Pushing Ball Black here, and I wanted to do a quick video about the Just Say Hi campaign and my thoughts on it and kind of the backlash that has been happening in the last couple days. I saw this on my Facebook feed. I actually saw a response vlog about the campaign and what the campaign is about. The Cerebral Palsy Foundation is trying to end the awkwardness of between able-bodied people and disabled people, social interaction, I guess. And they unveiled the Just Say Hi campaign where they had a bunch of celebrities saying, if we want to start a conversation with someone with a disability, just say hi. And there are a lot of backlash. There's some backlash coming from this. And I just wanted to give my 2 cents. I understand what they were trying to do. I'm not going to sit up and say that they didn't have any experience with people with disabilities because most of their people on their board are people who are parents of children that have disabilities, if not CP themselves. So, the kids having CP rather. And here's the thing. Um, Marketing departments, and I'm speaking as a graphic designer and someone who's done brainstorming sessions for people and someone who has sat in brainstorming sessions, a lot of marketing departments think micro, they don't think macro. And there's different quality when it comes to different types of marketing departments and agencies and campaigns. I'm going to mention a blog, the response blog, in the description, and the blog is called. Let me make sure I get this right. Words I Will Buy, and in the blog, she cites a brilliant campaign by Scope, I believe, and it's In the Awkward, and it's basically a bunch of YouTube videos about real stories that disabled people have been through in life, and they've basically been acted by actors, and it was brilliant. This is not brilliant. This is okay. And I understand why this is offensive to people because you are making, and as the Words I Will Buy blog said, like she had a hashtag like just act normally, which is actually cool. But marketing departments don't think they don't think that's simple. Everything has to be cute, hip, or cool in some way. So that's too long, and no one thought of the just act normally thing. So it's fine. I'm just not gonna kill that campaign. I'm just not gonna do it. Um, I understand why it's upsetting to people because you're making someone you're making able-bodied people, or at least the thought process is you're making able-bodied people say something to you. And my response is, specifically as a person spent that uses a wheelchair a lot to get around, people really don't know how to respond. Like they get really weird. They always want to tell you a joke. They always want to be semi inappropriate. Some people want to invade your space, and it's like they don't really know what to do. They ask for help, and then if you say no, they get mad at you, and they just don't. And it always ends up being, well, I just wanted to get to know you a little bit, and it's like, well, ask me how I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, say hi to me. You don't have to try to be funny. You don't have to try to be inappropriate. You don't have to try to offer me assistance. Like this wheelchair is just something that I use. Like it's fine. Do what you got to do. Um the one thing that I did kind of find kind of messed up, they used uh basically well-known celebrities, and none of them had disabilities. And my thing is, you couldn't get Josh Blue. You couldn't get, um, let me think. I'm trying to think of her name, and I'm sitting in front of my computer right now. Um, Let me see. You couldn't get, I think her name is Maysoon Ziyad. Uh, she did one of the, and I'm sorry if I destroyed her name, but she did one of the most entertaining and one of the most inspiring TED Talks to me personally that I've ever heard. Her and the Stella Young one, like, are my most one of my. Her and the Stella Young one are my two favorite TED Talks, like, ever so far. She's hilarious. Her story resonated with me a lot, and she's been an advocate as far as people with disabilities and their portrayals in the media. And she's an actress and comedian, and she's from what I've seen of her, she's genuinely a cool person. I actually met Josh Blue, cool dude. I didn't meet him very long. He did a show in Dallas. I was at a show. He signed. He was really good to the fans. We took a picture. He's a cool dude, right? Um, you couldn't get him. You couldn't get R.J. Mitte. You couldn't get Chris Forsaker, another stand up comedian. I named three stand up comedians and two actors, and you couldn't get these people. And even if they wouldn't do it, like, even if they saw the script or whatever and they saw what they had to do and they couldn't and they wouldn't do it, at least they would have told you how tone deaf this probably sounds to a lot of us. So, um, because really, I'm not gonna bash them, and I'm not gonna say, because really everybody's, to just say that they didn't have experience with people with disabilities. Like I said, most of the people on the board are parents of children with cerebral palsy, and you have a young professionals group that was started with like a subgroup of them, of that foundation, that was started by somebody with cerebral palsy. So, um, I'm not gonna kill them. There are campaigns, and the words I will buy blog. She basically mentioned the in the awkward campaign, and that campaign is by. Let me see. That campaign is by Scope, and they basically took a bunch of stories by people with disabilities and they acted them out. And that, from what I've seen of that campaign and the videos, those videos are very funny, and that campaign is brilliant because we've all experienced weird situations with people, and it's like you're saying to yourself, you're thinking too hard. Stop thinking so hard. And that's ultimately what this campaign, Just Say Hi campaign, is trying to do. It just didn't do it as well. So before we like get angry and send the torches and the pitchforks through social media and kill this campaign, just kind of give them a little slack, and somebody reach out to them and let them know, like, look, this is what you need to do. This is what you did wrong. This is what you need to do, because I guarantee you, sometimes parents with people with this, they don't know. Like, sometimes people with the best intentions, they don't know. And sometimes I think, instead of, what I'm saying, like, destroying people and making people feel bad, I know it gets tiring sometimes, but we got to start educating people. Like, we got to start educating people, and like, I know it's frustrating. I know it's aggravating. I know it's like, everybody has that, myself included. We all have that chip on our shoulder when it comes to ableism and how people treat us and stuff. But sometimes, like, the best way to solve some of this stuff is to educate folks. And instead of trying to clown instead of trying to be like super militant with the disability, man. Like, hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully somebody reaches out to them and kind of tells them like, hey, because it sounds like to me they, even though they might have experience, they didn't ask, they didn't check out anybody, and well, they didn't check out a second, thought process to the campaign, because as I've learned with the whole inspiration porn thing, which I completely understand and fight against, there are a lot of people in the disability community that don't mind being inspirations to people about doing normal things. I have a problem with that when you do that. But everybody's situations are different, man. So, I kind of think maybe they had somebody in the brainstorming room that was disabled and thought that was an awesome idea. Like, I understand the idea because, quite honestly, I've said to people, look, if you want to get to know me, just say hi, just start a conversation. I've written that, I've said that to folks. So I don't think it's a bad idea. I understand why people think it's a bad idea. I'm just not going to kill them for that. I'm just not going to do that. So, anyway, that's my quick 2 cents on it. Hopefully, I don't get trolled and destroyed by social media with this, but I don't know. I just kind of, they're thinking so macro that, like, no one really bothered to tell them how inherently ableist this could sound. So, hopefully somebody reached out to him and, gave him a different perspective, or hopefully, like, there's some balanced critique out there concerning this and they'll kind of, do something else for next year or the next campaign. But anyway, pushing while black out. Later.